Just a
Are we live, Christian? Are we live?
We are live.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
No?
It's just like, you go out there.
You go longer than 3 hours?
No.
No.
You're all set.
2-mile walk in the woods today.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, go.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the snow date of our regular scheduled meeting of the Wareham School Committee. It's January 27th. We called off the meeting on the 26th because of inclement weather conditions. And we had an opportunity this time to put up a snow date. So without further ado, I'd like to call the meeting to order and have any public participation. If you have public participation, please go to that table and identify yourself. Having no public participation, we'll move on. Dr. Rabinovich, good news.
Yes, I have two pieces of good news. First has to do with the CARE program, which is a grant-funded program. It's called the Century 21 Grant, and it runs an after-school program for the elementary schools and Wareham Middle School. They had a demonstration of students' work here on, I believe it was Monday night. It seems so long ago, but they had a movie that was absolutely, it was hilarious, well done, and the students produced the whole thing, took all the video. It was all, the advisor did some editing of it, and so that was very nice to see. They had a play after that that was a parody of the soap operas, and they did a little, the garden, one of the classes has to do with gardening, did something with cranberries. I guess they are building a couple of demonstration cranberry bogs in the quadrangle at the middle school, and so it's they were selling these little cranberry pizzas. So all of that was very nice to see the student work and to be here and to appreciate it. And the director of the program has told me that she's very happy that I came to see the students work. So that's the first piece of good news. The second one has to do with I believe we put a copy of this in your package. This is from ESSE, or the Elementary and Secondary Education, or DESE known for the department. It is a pleasure to write this note of thanks on behalf of the ESSE Data Collection Office. Your district is one of the first to complete the October 2010 SIMS, EPIMS, and new student course schedule collection. I know this is a very complex collection that requires a tremendous amount of work and collaboration. We are very appreciative of your staff, Teresa Griffin, who worked to get the job done. Thank you for your support of their work. Sincerely, Helene Betancourt, Manager Data Collection. And we sent this to all of the secretaries in the school system because it is an amazing amount of work. When this first started, the data collection had to do with, basically people's name, their address, maybe their race. Now there are, I'm going to say, 100 different collections that they do, including every course that they teach, so that when they look at a teacher and the courses they teach and their certifications in ELAR, they are now able to cross-reference them and call us and ask us questions when they find that a teacher may teach a single course out of their certification area. So again, Wareham was one of the first to complete this, and our data collection, Teresa Griffin and Terry DiFilippo, the coordinator of technology, and all of the secretaries have worked very hard to get this done. So that's another piece of good news. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have any good news?
Yes.
Mr. Fons?
I just want to comment on Brenda Ekstrom's taking the lead for Stop the Violence. I think it's talking about a rally and all of that, and a lot of times we don't agree and disagree on different things, but I'm 100% behind this. One of the things that Brenda talked about was the schools getting involved because of what's going on. It goes all the way back to Scotty Montello, the tragic death of him getting shot. So it's time that we step up. So I want to commend Brenda for taking the lead and let her know that, all my life I've been involved with the youth, and I like to reach out and try to help her in any organization to get this going, because it's time to put any disagreements or whatever aside and step up to the plate. We've got to target the middle school. I think that's an age where kids, they're watching these movies with guns and knives, right up to the high school. So I think it's an excellent idea. The police department is going to be involved, and hopefully could sit down and talk to the superintendent and the principals and try to get the schools involved in some type of way. But that was my point. I just want to commend her on taking the lead to get this organized.
Thank you. I don't think there's anyone that disagrees with that, so we'll do whatever we can. Anyone else with good news?
It's not snowing.
It's not snowing right now.
Give it a minute.
Report of the chair. I'm not going to prolong the meeting because, I'm sorry, minutes, thank you. Approve the minutes of January 12th. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Jeff?
Just one correction. In listing the members of the subcommittee, Mr. Schneider's name is misspelled.
Okay.
I believe he's here, so he could tell me if I've got it wrong, but I believe it's Schneider.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Any other corrections? All right, so, yes.
Mr. Chair, with myself and Rachel absent from the meeting, is it right that she...
Oh, I shouldn't have done that. You're right. I'm sorry. I was looking at both meeting minutes at the time. Sorry.
Do you want to withdraw your motion? All right, I'll entertain a motion as corrected to approve the minutes of January 12th.
So moved.
Second, as amended.
I have a motion and a second as amended. Is there any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained?
Aye.
So it is 3-0-2. Now we'll go to the minutes of January 19th.
Mr. Chairman?
Motion? Yes.
I could be wrong, but I only remember 3 members of the Board of Selectmen being there that night, and it looks like the vote is 4-0-0. Is my memory the same as everybody else's? There were only 3?
On what were you talking about?
The 19th, on their motion for the school building assistance?
There were 4.
There were 4.
Jane Donahue was on vacation, so 4 members were here.
Mr. Cruz was here? Was Mr. Holmes
At the end, one left early.
Mrs. Ekstrom was here?
But at the time that they took the vote, for some reason I remember
Oh, no, he's correct.
Kara was gone.
Yep,
So I think the correct vote is 3-0-0.
you're right.
Thank you very much. I didn't know that either. I didn't realize that. You're very observant. Do you know that, Mr. Swart?
I have my senior moments too.
I have more than my share. Okay, so we'll make that correction. Any other problems with the minutes of the 19th?
We just have to correct that. It's January 19th of 2011, not 2010.
2011. I didn't even notice that.
No, it's correct on the
Any other questions?
3rd page.
I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0-0. Okay, moving right along, report of the chair. As I said before, I'm not going to prolong the meeting. I just want to comment on the tone of the last meeting that we had between the guests for the Finance Committee and the Board of Selectmen, and I think it was a conciliatory tone. I think that we made some very, very important points, and I think that some good things will probably emanate from that meeting. So while I was lukewarm to make it a mandate, I feel that it was the right thing to do, and I think it went real well. So with that being said, I'll turn it over to Dr. Rabinovich for his report.
Thank you, Dr. Sylvia. The only thing that I have, I'll first check Michelle's notes here to see if there's anything else, but the only thing I believe I have is that we attended the budget subcommittee of the school committee attended a meeting.
When was that?
That was on Monday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Monday?
It was either Monday or Tuesday. We have to look back at
It doesn't matter.
It was Tuesday at 1 o'clock.
Okay. And that meeting emanated because there was a conversation at the end of at the public hearing. There was a discussion held about getting together a group of people to form an ad hoc committee. And so the town administrator, the town accountant, 3 members of the Board of Selectmen, our budget subcommittee with 2 members of the school committee and myself, and 2 members of the FinCom, and the town moderator.
Just for clarification, there was a meeting of the budget subcommittee Tuesday at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
The meeting to which you're referring was not a meeting of the budget subcommittee.
All right, but members of the budget subcommittee.
That's correct.
3 out of 4 of us attended.
And that was Monday at 10 o'clock.
Thank you. And at that discussion, it was my feeling that the sentiment of the group was that a representative from each of the boards would go back and ask for the board to consider approving the formation of an ad hoc budget subcommittee, and that 2 members be assigned to attend, so that we would have 2 members of FinCom, 2 members of the school board, 2 members of the Board of Selectmen, the town administrator, and the superintendent, and the town moderator. That was what was discussed at that meeting. And so what I'd like to propose is, whether or not we need to discuss it, but I'd like to look for a motion, I guess, to approve the formation of this ad hoc, and for you to send 2 representatives to it.
So this emanated basically from that meeting on Monday, so they're looking for a commitment from us one way or the other, and so that's...
Participation.
Okay. So that, given the fact that we were supposed to have this meeting yesterday, and this is a snow date, I think that would fall within the guidelines of new business, because it's something that requires action right away. So why don't we take that up on the new business, and we'll discuss it then, okay? The student representative is not here. Recommendations to the Policy Review Committee.
Do you want me to start, since there were
Yeah.
from last time?
Yeah, there's a couple meetings that this kind of encompass, so we'll go through each one, I guess.
The last time we were together, there were policies that were for approval by the school committee, but we tabled it until we had an opportunity to have more members here. Those include the state ethic, conflict of interest, crisis response, and the transportation of emergency safety and crisis response. Right. Dr. Rabinovich, I think that in our last meeting, we decided to still table the transportation of drivers